So he's gonna say if this was real life, yeah, he would have moved her stuff in. And I was like, real life? Brennan, this is not real life to you? We are not in real life? Are you on Married at First Sight for play? Because this is real life to everybody else. So what universe are you living in, sir? So anyway, the girls start getting into his ass, and he deserved every bit of it, okay? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here at my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows, y'all. This video, we are talking Lifetime's Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 9, titled Wigging Out. Before we get into it, thank y'all for clicking that subscribe button. Please continue to subscribe to the channel. This is a growing channel. Make sure you watch the video all the way through. Hit that thumbs up button. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think of this mess of a season. And share the video where you like to share your videos. All right, y'all. I'm a night late, okay? It just couldn't happen last night. I couldn't even watch the episode last night, okay? I was so tired. But anyway, we are catching up, okay? So, also, side note, the next 3 weeks, I don't have to do my tutoring job in the morning, so I can stay up a little later and get the math done on a Wednesday night if I feel like it, okay? I feel like I ain't talked to y'all in a minute. How y'all doing? Y'all Christmas shopping? What y'all doing? Anyway, I haven't done no Christmas shopping yet, y'all. I'm so behind. Anyway, let's get into this review so I can go to bed. Okay, so basically, this episode wasn't really giving a lot, but it was, doing a little bit. I thought it was going to be real boring and I was about to just do a short, but, I gave enough to do a whole video. So let's get into it. Basically, the episode picks up with all the couples waking up in their shared apartments. I guess it's Becca's birthday. She breathing on Austin with her morning breath, and I think he's going to make her some breakfast in bed or something like that. We see Claire and Austin doing their morning routines. Claire's trying to make sure, not Claire and Austin, what's the boy's name? Claire and Cameron. Claire was asking him, do he need to get in the bathroom? He said he don't do much in the morning, and we can tell. Then we do see Brennon and Emily separately deciding, after they're talking to Pastor Cal, they decided they're going to go forward and move into the shared apartment. So Emily says she got a lot to do before she can move, okay? So I believe next we do see when Brennon and Emily was moving into that apartment, and I might go a bit out of order, y'all, just follow me. So Emily had wagons, suitcases, she had stuff, okay? She was moving in. Emily said, I'm gonna be here a while, okay? She was moving. Brennan brought like 2 boxes, or he bought 2 suitcases. He said she brought like 7 things full of stuff, and he only bought 2. He was looking overwhelmed. He was looking like he didn't really want to move there, okay? He was looking tired. He was looking like he wanted to go back to his apartment, okay? And he did not help Emily move her stuff in. He just watched her struggle with her one bad arm. Brennan is not a gentleman. He is not a stand-up guy. And I'm talking about the type of energy he gives later. Anywho, so he was a little overwhelmed. They said, they joked around about how they're going to try to make it work. Not joked around, but they talked about how they're going to make it work. We're going to see. Anywho, then we see Becca and Austin meet up with Becca's friends because, it's Becca's birthday. And so I think it was 3 of her friends came. And so they were asking her questions like, how's the communication? And she says pretty good. The bar is set low for men. She says it's been better than other relationships. They talked about, how many things they have in common and things that they asked, have they had sex yet? Austin said no, he likes to take his time with that kind of thing. Becca is following the lead. They talked about the difference in religion, and Austin said he's still, working through those issues. I think that's going to be a problem for him. I don't think he was vibing with Pastor Cal's answer, nor was I, because Pastor Cal was telling them the full truth about what it means to be a Christian, okay? But anywho, I don't think Austin was done with that. So, he said Pastor Cal gave us some great tools on how to figure out the whole religion thing and get past it. And so Austin was looking like, oh, this was too much for him at the table, so he went and got a drink. He said he needed a drink, okay? So then the girls was asking Becca, like, girl, what's true tea? Like, what's really good with the sex thing? And she was like, yeah, she's just trying to follow his lead. And they said, you could probably get past the religious stuff and all that. Okay, so then Austin came back to the table. They had a good time. These conversations weren't giving much, y'all, okay? So we're going to breeze through them. Then later on, we see Claire and Cameron. Claire decides to surprise Cameron with a half a sandwich for his lunch. I guess she said she had the other half and it was really good. So she's like, I know you're not that hungry, but here's the sandwich, it's really good. I was like, girl, you couldn't bring him a whole sandwich of his own? You could tell she don't like Cameron, y'all. Anyway, she was like, okay, so this your bike shop, because we went to his bike shop that he has. Looks like a nice enough shop, and he was showing her around where they fix the bikes, and she's like, okay, so this is what you do all day, huh? She do not respect that man's job. She do not. So he was like, yeah, and she was like, okay, does it get boring now? Like, do you really like what you do? And he was like, no, like, he said, that's like asking a surgeon, do they get bored? Like, every bike repair is different, just like every surgery is different. He got one more time to compare his fixing a bike to surgery. It's not the same, Cameron. It's really not. I understand the analogy, but you need to pick something else, sir. So then he said he had a project for them to do, so they worked on fixing the bike together. I was like, well, hopefully that turned you on, Claire, to see him fix and stuff with his hands, the girl. So she said it was attractive to see him in his element and doing what he likes to do, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So anyway, later on then we do see, so all the couples are basically getting ready to do their party where they invite their friends and basically friends over, I think. And we see the friends talk to one spouse and another spouse. Y'all know how they do every season. So anyway, they gotta do these themed parties. So we did see Brennon and Emily planning for their party. They decided to go to like a party novelty store, and they got wigs. They decided Brennon wanted to do a wig party. They're in the store trying on wigs. Looks like they're kind of having fun, but it seems like Brennon, like, because every time he's trying a wig, he's like, oh, I gotta take this off. Like, he would like start to have fun and then he would stop. Like, he always stops himself. So it was kind of weird to me. Did anybody else pick up on that? Or is it just me? So Emily feels like this party's just what they need to have some fun, loosen things up, turn the page from, where they were last week. Because Emily better than me. Because there's no way I could move forward with Brennan after he basically told me I was ugly without telling me I was ugly. Okay, but more power to you, girl. So anywho, he said he thinks the party's going to be good for them as well, and they're glad they decided to take Pastor Cal's advice and move on into the shared apartment, because Mav said, y'all not about to waste our money on this apartment the way that Lauren and Orion had already wasted their money. Speaking of Lauren and Orion, let's get them out the way. So Lauren and Orion, we see Orion go meet up with one of his friends, and we see Lauren meet up with her brother and her sister-in-law. And so Orion with his friend, he's just checking on him. Orion said he feels weird being divorced, and he's like, oh, how did the family take it? And he's like, yeah, I told them everything that transpired, and they were pretty hurt for me that I didn't get what I wanted. And I could just imagine the story that Orion told them. I already know he put doves on it. I already know he exaggerated it. I already know he painted it to make Lauren look like such and such a villain when she was not. Really, he's the villain. But it's fine. Whatever. Whatever, Orion. No one's checking for you. Go on to the things you really like. So anywho, the friend also asked, like, are you ready to get back out there? Are you ready to get married again? So Orion said no, he's not ready for anything right now. He don't want to move too quick or rush into anything right now because he's still healing. He's still hurt. Nobody cares. Then we see, like I said, Lauren talking to her family, and, the sister-in-law was like, I wish we had some whiskey, but it's a little too early for that. So Lauren's just telling them how she went through all these different emotions, and she felt like things could work, and she hates that Orion wanted to get divorced, but she didn't want to get it, and she feels like, she was trying to put the effort in. She went through all these emotions, and so they both basically told her, like, it takes two people for effort, like, that you guys both have to want to put in the work. And the sister said, like, when it comes to a marriage, like, it takes a lot of grace, forgiveness, willingness to try, and you didn't have that, so you can't blame yourself. You can't make yourself feel bad, basically. And that's true. I wish Lauren, don't even waste no more tears on that Joker face Orion. Like, he ain't even worth it. Like, girl, nah, you a beautiful black woman. You do not need to be crying up here with no Orion. Confused Orion. No. So, the sister said, you know what? At the end of the day, it was him. Like, the issues were him. It's his issues. It's not on you. Don't put it on yourself. You still a bad bee. You still gonna be traveling. You still working. You still getting money. You still out here doing what Lauren do. I was like, period. Okay. Yes, you were still doing you, Lauren. She said, you know, when you talk to him, you make sure you know, let him know the problem wasn't you. The problem was him. And that's it. And be done with it. And so I like that advice that the sister-in-law definitely gave her. That was some good advice. So anywho, and we are going to see Lauren and Orion have that conversation next week. So then let's see, we see everybody getting ready for the parties. Now Cameron and Claire, child, they were frustrating me getting ready for this party. I was exhausted. Now Claire's all tense because Cameron didn't come back. She decorating, blowing up balloons. He's supposed to come back with the food. He came back empty-handed. She like, where the food at? He didn't do his one job. He said he gonna change clothes and order the food. He's like, good luck. He looked like he didn't do nothing to prepare for that party. She frustrated, but really her frustration is about, or she's tense really about if he's going to, or if her friends are going to like him or not. I think she did say actually that she would feel less anxiety if her friends, you know, ended up liking him. So I think she's just not comfortable with him. I think that Cameron is not a person that she would feel comfortable bringing around her friends and family. So that's what's making her nervous. And when I'm trying to date someone seriously, like I am right now, I have to know that I would not worry about you being around my friends and family. Like, I have to know that. And if I don't feel that feeling, then you not about to meet them. Okay? You gonna be a secret. No, I'm just kidding. Anywho. So then Cameron, you know, they're like, okay, let's order the food. They're gonna order some empanadas or something. And so he was like, well, we don't want the food to be all old. We don't want to be ordering it too soon. But then he already ordered it. He couldn't pick it up. He had to go get it in 15 minutes. He couldn't schedule ahead. Then, you know, I guess they're doing everything but a cup party. So they're supposed to have, you know, you're supposed to drink a drink out of something that's not a cup. And so he didn't have his cup together. She's like, you seem really unprepared. And I didn't think you would be unprepared for the party. And Cameron ain't got time for her BS, basically. So then, they end up getting the food. And I guess Cameron's sitting on the sofa and she's like, you didn't turn the oven on? You didn't heat the food up? And she's like, the oven's not on. She's like, okay, I'll just take care of this myself. While she's getting all mad again. He's like, what are you talking about? The oven was just on 20 minutes ago. Like, what are you talking about? And then she's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Like, I see what happened here. And then they were like, yeah, the food's about to be dry. You know, we're going to just sit in this, what they said, serve this dry old food, 5-hour food. And I was like, wait a minute. She said they was coming in 2 hours. It's been 5 hours, or was she exaggerating? I was like, why was you doing all that rushing on Cameron for y'all to be waiting for people to come? I didn't understand all that. So anywho, now Brennon and, no. Let's get to, we'll say Brennon and Emily last. Brennon and, oh my God, Becca. Who are these people and their names? All the names is the same to me, y'all, to be honest with you. All the names are the same to me. So, Beck and Austin, I think they're doing a charcuterie board, right? So I was like, where's the theme? That is not a theme. Unless everybody bringing different boards, that is not a theme. So Austin's friend Britt came. He brought a plant and some games. And then a few of Becca's friends came, right? And so, you know how they do everyone's talking, chit-chatting, getting to know each other, talking about what's going on in the relationship. And so Becca went outside. Well, Austin took the girls outside to grill the meat, and he said, you know, can you tell me about, like, you know, what was her past boyfriends like? Like, what do I need to do or not do so I don't end up the next? And so they were like, you know, that's a really good question. I like the way he worded that. And so she said they just told him about being, you know, open with the communication, willing to discuss things. That's Becca likes to, you know, talk things out head on and being willing to do that. And Becca was talking to Brick in the house, and so Brick was saying, like, you know, he's really happy with the person that Austin got. Like, he's very happy and impressed, and he said even him and his wife look at the, what Becca and Austin have, and they want those same qualities, and he's already married. So he really paid her a high compliment. And so Becca said it's good to meet the friends to make sure, like, it checks out, like whatever he's saying and doing, he's not a fraud. And so Brick was like, oh, definitely not. Like I told you at the wedding, like, you're a lucky girl, like you're getting a good guy here. And so then the topic of religion came back up in both conversations. And so Austin said, the whole religious thing did come up, and that's something, we discussed with Pastor Cal. We got to, work to move past it, and, the fundamental things, make sure we're working on them. Becca was talking to Brick about it, and so she said that she feels like she's more willing to bend on the whole, I guess, the Christianity thing more than Austin is, because she's had an issue with, like, religion, tearing people apart, like, about things that are about them, like being negative towards people for being a certain way. I can already know what she's implying. And so Brick said he's known Austin 15 years, and he's an atheist, and he said he's never heard, he hasn't had that many conversations with Austin about it, and he said he doesn't think it leads his decision making. So basically he thinks it'll be okay. I'd be curious to know if Austin just doesn't share that part with him because he knows his friend is an atheist. I think Austin cares more about his Christianity than he is allowing Becca to see right now. That's what I think, but I could be wrong. So they basically said they're going to work it out, but Becca is happy with Brick. She's happy with Austin, all that good stuff. Okay. And then we can actually wrap them up because, they don't be giving nothing. Later on, they had a conversation as they were cleaning up, and they said their friends really liked each other. They got along. She said in the past she didn't like meeting her guys' friends, but, she liked Austin's friends. And she said, like, meeting the friends is like meeting the references, which it is. And so they said they want to have friends over again. She want to do it right away, though. And he's like, I guess. And so, Austin also, I think her friends or him talked about how, like, I can't remember who said it, but basically about Austin, if he doesn't want to talk about something right now, he will make sure and revisit it. So, anywho. Then, Claire and Cameron's friends came over. And most of Claire's friends are therapists, right? And so Cameron's supposed to have friends come over, and Cameron's friends are not coming over. Now, we found out in the after party that one of his friends and one of Claire's cousins, I guess, hooked up and went on a date, but it didn't work out. But they were both supposed to come to the party, but neither of them ended up coming. Cameron said his friends were preparing for some trip, so that's why they're not coming. So she's telling the friends, like, oh, we only got one, Cameron said we only got one strawberry margarita flavor. And she's like, no, we don't, Cameron. And he's like, oh, sorry. They're like, strike one. They're giving him a hard time. Clearly, like, she don't play with nobody. So then, when it was just Claire and her, the girl, the friend that's just the girl, I forgot her name. Anyway, she's a therapist also, before the guys got there. She was saying something about, Cameron was worried about, being in a room full of therapists because all of Cameron's friends coming over were therapists. And so then Cameron was trying to backpedal and say he wasn't nervous about it. But he was. So the girl made a joke. I can't remember her name, y'all. She made a joke and she was like, oh, tell me about your relationship with your dad. Or I forgot how she worded it, but like, tell me, what's going on with your dad. And then he was like, he said, it's distant. And so then they were like, oh, because she was joking, but then he got serious, right? And so then they were like, okay, well, do he know you on this show? Like, what you doing? And so then he was like, no. And they were like, oh my gosh, why not? So he was like, well, what do I tell a man that's on his deathbed? Like, he's a dying man. Like, what would I say? And so then they were like, awkward. So Claire was like, oh my gosh, I did not know that. Like, sorry. Like, first of all, we didn't know that. Second of all, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry your dad is sick. Like, we don't got to even talk about it. And so they're like, okay, do you think your dad would be, happy with your decision? And so he said, honestly, I really don't know. And so then they're like, okay, well, do your rest of your family know? He said, yeah, some of them. He said some of them do know. Claire felt like he lied because at the wedding day, he said that they're going to have another wedding in New Zealand. So he made it like the whole family knew in New Zealand. So he kind of did lie. He kind of did. And I felt like maybe he's just saying whatever he had to say on wedding day. I don't know. So anywho, like I said, the guys got there. So, you know, Cameron went outside the guys. Claire went out on the balcony with the girl, with her friend. So she's just telling him, like, you know, I really like what he does. We both respect each other wholeheartedly. But she's worried that it's not enough because Claire don't like that man, y'all. And she said, for example, she brought up the whole religion thing. How Cameron's not religious. And he doesn't want to raise his kids in a religious household or environment. And so her friend's basically telling her, like, that's something you guys can probably come to compromise later on. And so she said also, like, I found it weird that he would bring up all that stuff about his family. Like, he's never told me. This is a conversation I would have wanted to have with him privately without you there, girl. Like, and I've asked him these things. And I could tell Kelly was, like, thrown off and a little bit embarrassed. And I think that was her biggest fear, is Cameron embarrassing her with her friends. So then we saw Cameron talk to the guys separately. And so they were like, how are you feeling about all this? And so Cameron actually was acting like he was in a therapy session. He was telling him everything. He said, you know, he feels like emotionally he's more behind than Claire. And, oh yeah, earlier he had told them that he basically will kind of be standoffish with Claire, but then he'll come back and apologize, and he knows that she's always right. You know how he like to just poke at people. So anyway, I told y'all Cameron liked to tussle. So he was telling the guys that, like, he feels like he is kind of sinking instead of swimming when it comes to the whole emotional thing and being with Claire and all that. And he feels like it's been a bumpy road and trying to express himself, and it's just been rough. And he talked about the whole religion thing and knowing that Claire's, you know, more religious than him and how they're going to raise the kids, and he don't want to raise the kids religious and blah, blah, blah. And so he was just, you know, sharing how, you know, everything's been kind of hard to build that intimacy and all that. And so they basically told him, like, you know, you guys don't have to have everything figured out right now. Like, why don't you go back to what made you do the show in the first place? Like, this is an experiment and an adventure. Like, lean into that. Like, don't feel like, you know, it's going to always be honeymoon and love. And so the guy shared that, and I think they appreciated him sharing this too, that, you know, he seems to know how to express himself. Like, he can express what he's feeling and what's going on. He may not just always, like, put his words together in the best way. And I think that's a good way to explain Cameron, right? Okay. So then later on, we do see them after the friends leave talking on the sofa. Cameron said he enjoyed it. However, Claire said she didn't understand how Cameron was just over there telling his whole life story to her friends, and she's asking about these things, so it kind of threw her off. She wasn't really feeling that, but Cameron didn't really want to get into it in that moment, and that was pretty much all we saw about them. So then let's talk about Becca and Austin. Not Becca and Austin. I can't remember all these people's names, y'all. Brennon and Emily, because this is where it got good. Now, Brennon and Emily, like I said, they went to the party store. They got all these different colored wigs. They bought these tiny hands. Them tiny hands look creepy. And they bought all these glow sticks and stuff like that. I don't know. The theme part of this party was wigs. Whatever. So, anywho, Brennon, now they're preparing for the party. Brennon is doing this, like, surfer guy accent, with his blonde wig on. Emily told him he had to leave the wig on the whole time. She did like a red wig, and what's her name? Jessica or Jordan? I forgot which her alter ego name was supposed to be. And she started doing a horrible accent also, but they were having fun at least. So the friends came. Now the friends that came on Emily's side, I guess, I don't know if one of the girls or both of the girls were not in her wedding. So in the beginning of the episode, she was talking to one of the friends and telling her, you know, how everything started out good with her and Brennan. You know, they had a spark, but towards the end of the honeymoon, things started going left. He's not really communicating. He's not going deep. I'm not sure if she shared right there on camera or another time off camera that he is difficult to film with. But she said that. They said that in the episode, the friends did, and I think she said it on the after party, if I'm not mistaken, and how he be switching it up. And he very much gives Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and you can see it all on camera. He definitely gives that. I'm kind of wondering, and this is no shade and no offense to people with mental health issues, but he kind of reminds, I'm like, is he bipolar or something? Because he be flipping his switch too much for me. He's scary. So, like I said, the friends came, and now mind you, Emily taking everything out the oven with that bum wrist. You know, he's telling the guys, oh, we gotta wear these wigs, it's supposed to be fun. And she's like, oh, I feel attacked, because he's makes fun of everything she does and says, right? So then she's talking to his friends and telling them like how, you know, it's been kind of rough and Brennan hasn't been opening up and all this stuff. So I can't remember the conversation with Emily had with his friends, because the main event, y'all, was when Brennan was talking to Emily's friends. I don't remember them half his names, and one of them had on a green wig and one had on a pink wig. So they was like, okay, Brennan, like, you know, we want to get to know you. You know, we haven't got to talk to you. So, you know, we don't know who you are, what's up. And he's like, oh, it's really hard right now because Jimmy's here. And they were like, okay, we'll put Jimmy to the side. We're here to talk to you. And he said, oh, but Jimmy's here. And it's like, why are you playing in these ladies' faces, Brennan, first of all? So then they were like, okay, well, you need to be serious because we need to talk to you. So they were like, so why did you come on this show? What's up? So he gave some spiel about how he was tired of doing life alone. You know how they all say. And he wanted someone to share his world with and all this stuff. And so they were like, okay, well, you know, Emily's our best friend, and we just want to make sure, you know, you're going to really be there for her because, you know, she's a very, very supportive person, and she really can, you know, be your backbone. She will do all this for you, but are you going to do all this for her? So he feels like he's a very supportive person, and he going to do all this stuff. And they were like, well, we didn't see you do nothing. Like, she said she had to move in by herself. You didn't help her. So why didn't you help her move, you know, her stuff in? What's up with that? And so he's going to say if this was real life, yeah, he would have moved her stuff in. And I was like, real life? Brennan, this is not real life to you? We are not in real life? Are you on Married at First Sight for play? Because this is real life to everybody else. So what universe are you living in, sir? So anyway, the girls start getting into his ass, and he deserved every bit of it, okay? They was like, so you are not being a supportive person. Like, Emily she had to put all the food in the oven herself. She had to make all the platters herself. She had to do all the decorations herself. She had to hang the shingles. She had to mop the floor. She had to sweep the kitchen. She had to do all this, okay? So he was like, what you talking about? Like, and the friend was like, I was looking at you to help her, and you didn't even help her. She got a bum wrist, but you making her cook and clean. And so then he was like, oh, but you didn't see me take the food out the oven. And she was like, yeah, but you didn't plate it. Like, I had to plate it. It's a team effort. Like, I had to ask her, like, girl, do you need some help in the kitchen? And so he was like, okay, but you're trying to say I'm not supportive because of one thing, because I didn't put the food on the place. Now, I get what the girls were trying to say, because Brennan does sit back and let Emily struggle with that one arm. And that's been pissing me off ever since the day she broke that arm or sprained the arm, whatever she did to that arm on the honeymoon. And he seemed like he didn't even care at all. But those were not the best of examples. Like, I get what the girls were trying to do and trying to say, but some of the examples and the way they articulated themselves was just not the best. But they got their job done, okay? So then he was like, I don't understand why you coming at me and you guys are attacking me and da-da-da. He's getting all defensive, and they're like, I don't know why you getting mad, you getting defensive. We're just trying to get to know you. We're trying to know who you are. Like, at the end of the day, like, we're trying to see, who are you, Brennan? Where did you come from? What are you doing here? Emily is my best friend. Like, we looking out for our girl. And so he was like, okay, but I don't understand. Like, you don't even know me. Like, you're over here attacking me and all this stuff. And so then one of the girls said, like, yeah, you're being difficult to film with. He's like, oh, is that what she told you? Is that what she told you? And so they were like, she didn't tell us anything. Now, on the after party, Keisha Knight, Pulliam, did ask Emily, like, did you tell them stuff ahead of time? So she told them a little bit. I think she told them enough. Okay. She told them enough. She said she told them that, like, yeah, he was difficult to film with, but she didn't tell them all the ins and outs. Then they said they also picked up on some stuff. And you can pick up on it, really. But I think she told me a little something. So then they basically getting back and forth with Brennan. and saying like, okay, we don't think that, you know, your intentions are bad. However, we don't know if you're going to have enough emotional connection, if you're going to really be able to go deep with her. And so he said, oh, okay, so what, I should quit now? I should just hang up the towel? And they're like, no, that's not what we're saying. Like, we're just saying, like, we need you to be here for our girl. Like, we need you to really put in the effort. So he's like, well, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to get it right from day one. All I can do is try. He's like, I just understand, like, you know, you guys barely knew me for an hour. I don't even know y'all. The way y'all coming at me, I don't even like it. And so basically, he was not happy with her friends, okay? So then later on, after all the friends leave, they debrief, Emily and Brennan, and she said she liked his friends. Like, she enjoyed talking to them. Brennan said he didn't have a good time with her friends. He thought it was going to be all good, no drama, but he felt attacked by them. And they said, you know, all this stuff to me, and they were really coming at me and all this stuff. So she was like, well, you know, I apologize for them. That's not what this was supposed to be. However, on the flip side, you know, there have been things that have happened, and they are trying to look out for me, but, you know, that was not it. Like, I'm sorry. And so he's like, you don't have to apologize for them. And he said he appreciated everything she said and all that. And I was like, Emily, girl, I'm going to say it again until you free yourself. You are in danger. He gives me DV energy. I'm sorry. Is it just me? But Brennan gives very much, I'm going to have you hemmed up and pinned in the corner. He's giving very much DV energy. I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to put that label on him. I hope he's not that type of guy. But that's what is coming across the screen to me. Like, it looks like Emily needs to be scared. Okay, she looks like she needs to be running for her life, literally. And next week, we see he going to get into it with Dr. Pia, because he's trying to overtalk her during the session and tell Emily what to say. So I can't wait to see that part. Like I said, this episode wasn't really giving, but I think next episode will. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow night for one of our own shows. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.